this year.
Well, let's talk about AI and how it's combined with our RPA. I mean, I think I'd like to know, what the effect of that is, but let me see if I can confuse the question a little bit. I think when companies are shopping for an RPA solution, all the vendors say, oh yeah, we have AI, we have ML, and it's really strong, and it's really hard for the customers to understand what's under the hood because they themselves won't necessarily understand the technology. So it seems like that area of the RPA sales pitch might be a little smoke and mirrors or not. Maybe users don't always know. But I guess so. The question is, what AI technologies are being combined, and what is the impact, David? And then what's your take on that? And how does the buyer confusion play into that? That's a very obscure question, but I'll ask you anyways.
I think there has been a lot of confusion around how AI works with RPA, and in most cases, the RPA vendors in the marketplace are doing one of two things. They're either trying to make sure that you can integrate with the big AI providers, whether that's AWS or Azure or Microsoft Azure or Google. And the easier you make that integration, then the more, the better. Some of them are actually building some AI capabilities into their tools. And frankly, I don't think it really matters, because if you look at the way the new transformation technology stack is evolving, it is a combination of a lot of different technologies that are able to work together and talk with each other. Mm-hmm. So you think about, most of the AI tools that we talk about, are owned by AWS, Microsoft, or Google. And really, you can use any of those things interchangeably. They are microservices that you attach to any tool that you can integrate simply with very simple coding or virtually no code. And RPA tools just need to be able to, one way or another, connect with those capabilities. Mm-hmm. And then there's a range of specialist tools which are around computer vision and identifying documents and being able to do things. So basically, I think we're in a world where you need to connect together different technologies, and you need to manage casework between RPA robots doing things which are repeatable and programmable, AI tools which are using specialist sort of cognitive capabilities from one vendor or another, frankly. Storage, which is the whole cloud picture, which is so integrated now with AI, it's unbelievable. And then the orchestration of the process from end to end that makes sure that, the right person, the right technology, the right robot knows what it's to do next. And I think for me, that's the future. So I think we get a little bit hung up on, what functionality is in, what functionality is out, when actually we know that at the end of the day, we have an awful lot of choices as to how we're going to build applications and how we're going to build these solutions of the future. And RPA is one of the tools, and I think it's a very powerful one. But also other tools, even looking at Microsoft, you look at Microsoft's Power Apps and, their ability to, for users to build with very low code, functional applications, and then link that in with, other tools, from app stores of one kind or another. It's really, how do you piece all these bits together in the jigsaw that is complex? But actually, when you know what you want, it's pretty simple to find the tool you need.
Guy, it looks like you have a new background. I want to find out what's going on with your background. Is that a Rubik's Cube? What does your background represent now?
Yeah, it's all about understanding. So exactly.
Combined technology. Sorry. With the idea of understanding technologies, what about AI and our RPA together? What's real there? What's smoke and mirrors, and what's the impact going to be?
Yeah, I mean, we describe it as understandings. I mean, it is very, well, to put it bluntly, I got famous a couple of years ago by saying that AI is nonsense, although nonsense wasn't the word I used. So we've tried to make it a little bit more understandable by using the words understanding. So around RPA, you need the things that allow you to do, as David said, automate processes end to end, because RPA can't do that, which is why Kit's business is being so successful at the moment. It's that orchestration. Mm-hmm. But the four understandings are visual understanding. So the system has to understand everything on the screen, regardless of where it is on the screen, in exactly the same way that you or I do.
Mm-hmm.
There's document understanding, because we're still waiting around in paper. So it has to understand what that piece of paper is and then what to do with it. So document understanding. Third one is process understanding. And that's really important because as David said before, organizations get hung up on where to start and what is automatable. And by automating which is the direction of travel, by automating the collection of data that allows you to decide which process is going to be appropriate and how you can automate it, that's process understanding. And importantly, actually, when things change, because processes always change over time. So you have to have self-healing robots as ultimately self-building robots, which is the direction of travel. Right. And lastly, it's conversational understanding, because as increasingly everyone's using voice rather than keyboards, or chatbots, where they are using keyboards, the system has to understand the ontologies necessary for natural language understanding and natural language processing. So you need all of those things, all of those 4 understandings. And as David said, some organizations are building those themselves, others are acquiring organizations, companies. So we made 2 acquisitions just before Christmas in the process understanding space, and so on. So that combination, what Gartner call hyperautomation, what everyone else calls intelligent automation, is or hyper-intelligent automation, is the combination of those things. And then by using that, you can actually automate things much more effectively over a long period, over a long time, go broader and deeper. But you still need what Kit and the eNate team provide.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
You know,